Hey, thanks for hanging out. In this video we're going to do a few upgrades and change a few things to refurbish this trailer. Let's get after it. The first job is to swap over to these tailgate latches. They come with a plate fixed to the back that you could weld on. That's going to make it too thick for what I want. I want a snugger fit against the tailgate that I've got. I'm going to grind off that flare and then knock that pin out, and then use a bolt and weld that through here to be able to give me the location for that latch. The hole we're going to use for mounting is 1 inch or 25mm down from the top, which is also 1 inch from the edge of the tailgate when it's open. I just want a little bit of clearance, so I'm going to make this 1 1/16 or around about 27mm from the edge of the tailgate and 1 inch or 25mm down from the top. We'll mark that, drill it with a step drill, and then we'll get the bolt installed. This is the bolt I'm going to use. It's an 8mm or 5/16 bolt. Just going to put that through the hole, put a couple of tack welds on there, and then I can secure the latch to the front with a nylock washer. Now that I've got those bolts welded in, I'm going to attach the latches now. I've got two different thicknesses of washer that I'm going to try just to give me the right spacing for this to be able to be nice and firm against the tailgate when it's up. I'm going to try one of the thinner washers and one of the thicker washers first. Put those on with a nylock nut and we'll see how that feels. I've got this just firm enough so that these turn reasonably easily, but not being able to just flop back down into place. I think that'll give me the best chance of just holding this tailgate exactly where I want it. That's a nice firm fit on there, which I like. I'll now do the same to the other side. The next job that we've got to do is remove and replace these mudguards. They're in pretty bad shape. A lot of the welds have gone. They're a bit rusty and dented. They've got a seam weld down the back and the front on each side, which I'm going to try to cut or cut around to be able to remove these. Hopefully that goes quite well. Let's see how that goes. Got this mudguard sitting on a chock of wood on top of the wheel. I'm fairly happy with where it's positioned at the moment. I'm just going to measure and just see if I can make some minor adjustments to get it quite even with the wheel so it looks nice rolling along the road, and then I'll measure to the back of the trailer to transfer that length to the other side. Well, I'm not unhappy with those welds. That one's not too great, but the others turned out all right, all things considered. I found it difficult. That bottom weld was definitely the easiest because I was going into that thick bottom rail on the trailer. Those other three little stitch welds were a little bit trickier. Top two I'm happy with. That middle one there's a bit knobbly, but overall I'm happy with how that's turned out. The mudguards on there nice and solid. Measured down and in to the top of where I want the rail to go, and then I've transferred that information over here onto the mudguard as well. I'm just going to rough cut these and then just get them trimmed up to be able to fit in there and weld them in place. I'm happy enough with those welds. They're going to be plenty strong enough for what I'm going to need this trailer for. They haven't come out too bad. I really tried to not leave too much heat on there this time because I know that metal's quite thin and it'll blow through. I'm happy with that. I'll get the next three done and then it's on to paint. I'm happy with how things are coming along. I've got the mudguards on the side rails and the latches for the front and rear tailgates. The last thing that I want to do is I want to replace this bar on the back tailgate here with another piece of the tube that I've been using for the side rails as well. Looks all a little bit ugly and it's a bit bent, so time to get this off and get a new piece in place. I'm happy with how that turned out. I'm going to go around with the wire wheel now and get everything ready for a bit of primer, and then we'll come back when that's dry and paint it black. Everything's had about a day to dry now, and I'm happy with how everything looks. I'm going to put these back onto the trailer now and just make sure that they're tensioned up and working the way that I want, and then we'll be getting close to wrapping this one up. Everything that I wanted to do to refurbish this trailer is now done. I've got the new mudguards on, I've got the side rails on, I've put a new rail on the back tailgate as well as the tailgate latches front and rear, which work well. I'm happy with how those turned out. I've given everything a quick paint as well as just putting a little bit of paint on the inside just to make it a little bit newer again. The only thing left to do now is there's a rolled edge on these pressed mudguards that's going to be a trap for water. I'm going to put a bead of black silicone down there to be able to seal that and help stop any water getting in and just prolong the life of this as much as I can. But other than that, this is all wrapped up and really happy with how it's turned out. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video or got something out of it for your own project. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. And remember, until next time, life's short, so get after it.